DUROTILU.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have papers here: The Guardian, The Punch, The Daily Post, The Daily Trust, the Premium Times newspaper. I'm taking The Guardian newspaper first this morning. Blackouts in Lagos as electricity workers begin strike. Also, ASU strike continues as meeting with federal government ends in deadlock. UK inflation jumps to new 40-year high. North Korea fires 2 cruise missiles. Seoul Defense Ministry. Also, from the Premium Times, Babangida Buhari mourn renowned journalist Duro Onobule. Ekiti PDP berates Fayemi for failure to pay students WAEC fees. Secure release of results. Delta moves to dismantle unfriendly energy sources. Blasphemy. Appeal court dismisses Kano Singer's appeal. Nationwide blackout. 3 billion naira lost to TCN strike as grade crashes. AFCC raid on BDC operators behind naira rise against dollar, says Bauer. Governors pledge progressive budgeting for primary health care. NSCDC boss tasks Lagos Command on protection of national assets. Take responsibility for education sector rot. NECA tells federal government. Those are headlines from the Guardian newspaper.
Out of the Punch newspaper this morning, the major story: peace threatened. Wike Atiku's men disagree over IU Foundation seeks support as 4-year-old battles eye cancer. Story you find on the Metro Plus pages of the Punch. Don't vote politicians with children abroad. ASU president. That's also a major one from the Punch. TCN blackout looms as Lagos Disco stops operations. Wike can't put PDP at risk, says Logbondiyo. 4 students celebrating Wase at Lagos Beach drowned, also in the Metro Plus pages of the Punch newspaper. Elsewhere from the Punch as well, sweeps accuse Lagos policeman of phone search, extortion. Adamawa, the journalist, brutalized by husband. NUJ demands justice. DELE nabs online tramadol distributor in Abuja. And also this one, Wike free to meet anyone, Logbondiyo says. Again, in that story.
From the Premium Times newspaper this morning, more money for Nigerians as CBN asks banks to pay higher interest on savings. Blackout across Nigeria as electricity workers strike holds. Gunmen attack checkpoint, kill police officer. Tinubu visits Obasanjo in Ogun. Jigawa shuts down schools as pupils write exams over fear of attack. We have ended IPOP sit at home in Imo. Uzodinma. More headlines from the Premium Times. Leaving in the critical state the price of a South African town's dirty water. Ogun 2023 appeal court orders retrial in Segun Showumi's suit against PDP. More headlines. Why I visited Ogun. Tinubu. Inebehe Efyong. 48 hours after being sued, Akwa Ibom Chief Judge releases record of court proceedings. Train attack. Kidnapped victim planned to marry in June. Brother. Electricity. While we failed to generate 5,000 megawatts as promised. Minister. Those are headlines from the Premium Times newspaper.
From the Daily Post, electricity workers call off strike. Of course, that's the National Union of Electricity Employees having called off that strike, we understand, this morning. Details of Tinubu meeting with Obasanjo emerge. That's another one. Row in Benue, APC over ex-governor Akume's alleged plan to impose Guba running mate. Jigawa government shuts schools over security threats. Also, APC supporters flood Obasanjo's residence as Tinubu visits ex-president in Ogun. Elsewhere from the Daily Post, Buhari approves 3 orthopedic hospitals in Edo, Plateau, Taraba. IBB at 81, Babangida, architect of modern Nigeria, Neko boss Wushishi, says there. War, China, India, Tajikistan, others to send troops to Russia. Yobe Assembly worries over incessant flood disaster. Tasks government to support victims. Plateau 2023, PDP appoints ex-APC chairman Dabang as DG campaign counsel.
All right, from the Daily Trust, 2023 e-transmission of election results has come to stay. INEC 2023 e-transmission of election results has come to stay. Kenya and Nigeria are two countries, similar political story. Venus, Thiem handed US Open wildcards. Also from here, D-Day as NFF AGA holds Lagos. Niger, Benin, Togo owed Nigeria 5.8 billion naira for power in 2020. That's according to a report. While NNPP couldn't fulfill request by Shekarau's camp, Kwakwanso. Also, Tinubu in closed-door meeting with Obasanjo. No respite for operators of as aviation fuel hits 903 naira. Abductors of Nasarawa commissioner demand 100 million naira. Also, strike. As to strike, what would you do if you are in Buhari's shoes? That's a question on the Daily Trust website there. Also, let's see just a few more before we look at another paper. Blackout, electricity workers suspend nationwide strike. NUJ condemns assault on member in Adamawa. Federal Executive Council approves additional 768 million naira fee for NDDC auditors.
All right, a couple of stories out of the Nation newspaper before we go on a break. Lawmakers Fale case, the long appointments wise. Buhari approves 3 additional orthopedic hospitals. That's also in the pages of the Nation. Right ethics ensure social order. Good governance. I believe that's an editorial piece. And lastly, foundations train sickle cell caregivers, distribute toolkits. We'll take a short break right now, and when we come back, we'll be taking a look at the analysis of the stories and, of course, taking your reactions. Stay with us.
Our friend Oliver is what you call a man with a huge appetite. Gigantic, actually. And if there's one phrase we have come to know Oliver for, it is this.
More data, please.
No matter what we offer him.
More data, please.
So, guess what we did? We heard Glow created new data plans for people like Oliver, and we got him exactly that. And guess what Oliver said?
Excuse me, please, is this all for me? Only me?
Now, Oliver certainly has more than enough data. All thanks to the Glow Mega Data Plans.
With the longer validity you get on Glow Mega Data Plans, you can work from home with ease, run your business better, download non-stop, stream music and movies endlessly, learn online, and share data with anyone. No worries. Get 225 gigabytes at 30,000 naira for 30 days, 425 gigabytes at 50,000 naira for 90 days, and 1 terabyte at 100,000 naira for a year. Dial *777# now to start enjoying these mega plans.
Glow Unlimited.
The hangout was lit. We should do this again. Wait, guys, let's take a picture. Everyone, get ready for a selfie. The category is melanin popping.
Let's see.
These pictures are dull.
Here, use my Techno Spark 9.
Check this out.
Now, this is the real deal. Spark up your selfie with the new Techno Spark 9 series with a 32MP HD selfie camera, 5000 mAh battery, 6.58 inches Full HD Plus screen. Say hello to the world of crispy, clear, and sharp selfies on a long-lasting battery and large memory to save them all. Buy any of the Techno Spark 9 smartphones to get an instant gift and enjoy 13 months device and 180 days broken screen warranty. You can also get your device with Easy Buy for a down payment as low as 22,999 naira. Hurry now. Visit the nearest authorized Techno outlet to get yours today. Techno. Stop at nothing.
Tolu, báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Mo jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣèkáfá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sàn ẹ̀ lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló sè é. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fádùn àti tasọ́sàn tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Ẹ̀kọ́ tó yè koro ní ìpìlẹ̀ ọjọ́ ọ̀la rere. Dominion Aviation College. Àǹfààní aláìlẹ́gbẹ̀rẹ̀ fún gbogbo ènìyàn tó fẹ́ nímọ̀ kíkún lórí àwọn ètò ẹ̀kọ́ bíi air ticketing and reservation/GDS training, tourism, transport and travel management, software development and application development courses. Dominion Aviation College is the place to be. Láàrin oṣù mẹ́fà péré ní àwọn ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wọ̀nyí. Admission requirements are awaiting result WAEC, GCE, NECO, ND, NCE, HND or BSc láti fi orúkọ sílẹ̀ fún àwọn ètò ẹ̀kọ́ bíi air ticketing ticketing and reservation / GDS training, tourism, transport and travel management. Ẹ kàn sí ilé-ìwé Dominion Aviation College tó wà ní number 37 Oyinlola Street off Bolumole Ring Road, Challenge, Ìbàdàn. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn 0814-730-6896 or WhatsApp 0813-148-2943. Visit www.dominionaviationcollege.com. Email dominionaviationcollege22@gmail.com.
Power oil, power oil. Bonga cooking oil, we get different sizes and different packs. Oh, power oil, power oil. The one way they sweet me na mini pack for 100 naira. Yeah. Power oil, power oil. Play everywhere. Power oil, good for your heart. Power oil, cholesterol. Power oil, no trans fat. Power oil. And people who listen to your heart use power oil. Power oil, power oil. Power oil.
Waiting you sabi about the beautiful game. You dey there for the life and style. Fantasy leagues, bass goals, ginger and okpo. Breaking down the stats even to the MVPs. Taking no L's and only for the W's. I beg. Then Showmax Pro get news for you. Football season is back. Live, e-choke. Watch the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A. Anywhere on any screen. Mad, oh. Stream the action from Super Sport live on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
Every time, you people be telling me to leave life free things, to leave life free things. Fimi jare. But I find you where they're giving free drinks. If there's free food, you'll be there. Oh. If they're sharing free money, you're on the queue too. Forget. We all love good things. Even now that Jumia is doing free delivery, it's the same you and I that are enjoying it. On every order above 1,999 naira, you'll enjoy free delivery in Lagos and Ibadan. So, shop on Jumia today. Jumia, your everyday delivered.
32 FM, 94.9.
32 FM 949 Ibadan. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now we bring you the analysis, but before then, my name is DELE ADEYANJU.
My name is Kenny DUROTILU, and we have Professor Oluojedokun with us this morning. Good morning, Prof.
Well, top of the day to you.
All right, so let's start off with this one from the Punch newspaper. Don't vote politicians with children abroad. That's according to ASU president yesterday, urging Nigerian students to not vote for politicians who have their children outside the country studying. Is that the way forward, according to the prof? Do you agree with him?
Well, certainly that's the view of the professor, and people are entitled to do what they want to do. There's no law against you sending your children abroad. Particularly, some people send their children abroad not because they want them to stay abroad, but they want them to get expertise, maybe masters and doctorate, and then come back and develop the country. So I think it is very, very narrow-minded to say don't vote for people with children abroad. But I can understand why he has said it. He said it simply because he feels that those who have children abroad would have no stake in developing the university educational sector in Nigeria. So I think that's his motivation. But I think it's inflexible to suggest that if you have your children abroad, then you will not be interested in developing the educational sector of the country. Yes, there's the tendency that you might not care that much, but it's not conclusive enough to conclude that on that evidence, you won't be interested in supporting the universities, supporting the secondary schools and primary and tertiary education.
Like you said, it is actually something that would force the hand of politicians if they had their children right here in the country studying as well. Don't you think that that's something that actually get them to do what's right for the people, stand by or stand with the people as regards education?
Well, you see, the problematic I have with that is that in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s, many of these politicians, many of these characters had their children schooling in Nigeria universities. I went to school with many of them, and still they were not that bothered. So I think it's more fundamental than whether their children are here or not. But I agree with you that if their children are here, they are more likely to ensure that the strikes are addressed, more likely to ensure that the educational sector is better. But it's not necessarily conclusive.
All right.
Policymakers respond to things that affect them more quickly than things that do not affect them. Like if it was the aviation sector now, they would have moved swiftly to rescue it.
Yes, like you would also suggest that the power situation, they moved very quickly to ensure that the strike came to an end. In how many hours? Just a matter of hours.
Not up
So
to
you could
24
also
hours.
argue that that could be evidence. Yes, that could be evidence of that. What I think is very clear is that the educational sector in Nigeria is no longer what it used to be. In the earlier days when ASU used to strike, you only had federal and state universities. Today, you have much more private universities. And you have the option, of course, if you have the money, you understand, or the foreign currency to send your children abroad. So
There is even a report that
much more.
about 33 or thereabouts number of private institutions are to be licensed soon.
Yes, and the more that they're licensed, the more it diminishes, the power of ASU and, of course, the relevance of federal universities. They will always be relevant. But also, I think what is pointed towards is that the funding model for universities in this country has to change. There is nowhere in the world, quote me, where you have a number of universities we have in Nigeria and they're 100% in most instances, or is it 70 or 80% funded by the federal government or the government. There must be different funding models so that us ASU doesn't have to go on strike at every point in time because the government has failed to live up to their responsibilities. Let's shift these responsibilities back to our alumni. Let's shift it back to the private sector, and let's shift it into other sources like research, collaborations, patent, and so on and so forth. Because I tell you, if this strike ends today, ASU and the federal government, it's only going to wait another few years. Another strike will come up again because the federal government simply hasn't got the money to fulfill their contractual obligations agreed with ASU.
All right. You mentioned something about power the other time, and the power situation has been resolved. Not less than 24 hours. Now, you remember in 2020, I'm sure you remember because we were on the show together that time, when the report came out that Nigeria, Benin, Togo owe Nigeria about 5.86 billion naira. Up till now, the money has not been remitted. But why? I just ask myself, why do we have to sell power to these countries when we even suffer same power?
Well, first and foremost, all this support for Niger, Republic of Benin is quite historic. It was historic in times when Nigeria was better run, when our economy was more robust. But we're in times now when the economy is not robust, when Nigeria is not being well run as it should be. So why should we continue with a policy and a legacy that continues, you understand, to put us in debt or continues to allow those countries to owe us? The fact remains, you understand, that Nigeria has not even been able to generate enough for its own people. And so if we can't, charity begins at home. That's what I heard. So all these countries owing us, I think they should just be cut off. That's my view. Some might say it's bad for international relations, but I say that it is worse for Nigerian economy and Nigerian people. There's no reason why we should be providing them with electricity if they cannot pay. And some people would argue there's no reason why we should be providing them with electricity when in your own country you don't even have enough to generate, or even when you generate, you cannot distribute it.
Do we have enough power for our big companies like the Ajaokuta steel companies and all the other private manufacturing companies that we still have? What about the small scale industries that need some power? What about the barber shop that needs power to make hair and all that? Do we have enough power for these people? We mostly rely on generator.
Yes, you see, there's an argument that we actually generate much more than we can distribute. So there's a gap between what we generate and what we distribute. I think the main problem is our distribution. The infrastructure for distribution is decrepit. So even though we generate quite a lot, or we could generate quite a lot, there's no point you generating all that when you cannot distribute it, from that point of view. So there's a gap, and that's a gap which we haven't addressed. And the government, remember, Obasanjo threw so much money at it, and yet still we're still in this situation. Yeah, so you're correct to say that the small businesses continue to suffer. We still haven't got this electricity situation right, and we need to get it right.
All right, yesterday, the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, he visited the penthouse of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Tinubu, after that particular meeting, closed-door meeting, refused to speak with the press. Now, the question here is, was it a courtesy visit, do you think, or it was just is one that has political undertones?
Of course, it has political undertones. Of course, what Tinubu is trying to do is trying to build support. and is trying to meet those we consider to be relevant. You also have to know that it's not only Obasanjo that people visit. They visit Babangida and other former heads of state to get an insight. And I think, there will be people who will say that the reason why I went to OBJ was that they went to OBJ 2015 and they got the support of OBJ for Buhari then. I mean, it wasn't full-fledged, but he gave it to them. And they're hoping that this time around, maybe he can be persuaded. The fact that they did not come out hand in hand and that the press wasn't addressed would suggest to you that no endorsement was received.
Right.
And Tinubu might even argue that he did not seek any endorsement. So it's quite clear that he went there trying to seek at least the tacit support of the president, and that he may not have got it.
How does a visit without, like you said, that might not be an endorsement, play on the psychology of the voters? Seeing, a candidate, a political candidate, go associate with someone who has so much power and, of course, acceptability, the level of acceptability as an Obasanjo.
Well, first and foremost, when you go around, you don't leave anything to chance, because this election could be very close. And it may just well be the endorsement by some powerful politician that might make the difference of a few thousand votes or not. So you're not taking anything to chance. And of course, with the people sometimes make up their minds based on what the people they respect, you understand, which way they're swinging towards. And I think you could argue that because he's a Yoruba man, the most powerful, possibly one of the most powerful Yoruba men still around. Some will suggest it's Obasanjo. So it just makes sense, to associate with it. You might be able to get some votes. Some people might be able to be persuaded because Obasanjo gives a nod if he gets the nod.
All right. In other news, Prof, there is a report right now for $18 million Paris Club refund. Governors tackle Malami, say action fraudulent, self-serving. Yesterday, there was a meeting. The Nigerian Governors Forum described the positions of the Attorney General of the Federation, that's Abubakar Malami, on the controversial $18 million Paris Club contractors' fee as fraudulent and self-serving. Fayemi, while reading the communique to journalists, said the governors had resolved to pursue the issue, which is before the law court, to a logical conclusion. What actually happened? The governors insisted that the deductions for the payments of said consultancy were illegal, especially as the matter is before the court, and they said Malami was not acting in public interest. Have you been following that story up to now?
Yes, I've been following it. I think one of the reasons why the matter went to court and why the Governors Forum has made a headway is that there was an agreement of some sort between the Governors Forum and these consultants. And the court is quite clear that this Governors Forum, they're not even a body corporate. You understand? They're not recognized in law. So they cannot, as a forum, make such agreement. I think that's one of the arguments from that point of view. Malami has been very insistent. Remember that these consultants are lawyers, you understand. Many of them are lawyers, and many of them are linked to chambers. I'm not saying they're linked to him. I'm just saying that's what they are. And there are some people who believe that instead of him acting as the Attorney General of the Federation, he's acting as the Attorney General of these lawyers. And that shouldn't be the case. He should act dispassionately, and he should not be their cheerleader. Let somebody else be the cheerleader of these consultants. He's consistently without fail, he's been arguing their case. And you have to remember that Malami wasn't elected by anybody. These governors were elected by the respective states. So these governors have some electoral mandate. The only mandate that Malami has is that he's an appointee of the federal government. So I can understand why the governors are a bit miffed by Malami's activities. And of course, Malami has come out in public to slate the governors. The governors are not too happy with him, even though many of them belong to the same political party. My own view is allow the courts, you understand, to resolve this. Why the impatience? If they've waited this long for the so-called consultancy fee, they should be able to wait till the court resolve this matter. So there's no rush, and everything should be suspended till the court resolves the matter.
All right. On ASU, the governors actually made a statement, and they implored, they encourage. Why I'm trying to choose the right word is they encourage the federal government and the ASU to find meaningful resolutions to lingering impasse, and as proposed to engage with both parties, just as, unquote now, as they have always done in the past. Who should come and bring some force to make sure that this impasse is resolved? it's not a matter of encouraging or begging or trying to urge them to. No, we have the lives of students at stake here, the future of Nigerian students at stake here. So we should not. I feel we should not just be begging them. Please find come to a round table and find a solution to. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes. First and foremost, let's establish: was there an agreement, a 2009 agreement, which has been affirmed by other governments between ASU and the federal government, a funding agreement? Yes. The agreement that was made then, was it made in good faith? Some would say yes. The circumstances that occurred then, do we have the same circumstances in 2022? No. Can the federal government afford, you understand, that to bail out ASU to the tune that they have? The federal government will say they can't. ASU will point to many lack of priority, misplacement of priority in terms of government funding, in terms of government embezzlement by officials, to suggest that the government can meet its obligations. What's ASU asking for? ASU is asking for about 200 billion every year over the next 5 years. That's about 1 trillion. What is ASU asking for? ASU is asking that UTAS, instead of IPPIS, be the mode of payment for each of its lecturers. So when you look at it from that point of view, is the federal government prepared to meet them halfway? Is ASU prepared to move a bit? And that's what I think the problem is. ASU is not prepared to move. The federal government is not prepared to move. Even on the issue of UTAS, IPPIS has been discredited recently. On the issue of UTAS, the federal government is moving slowly to ASU from that point of view. But I think for the sake of the children, a compromise has to be met, from that point of view. Whether ASU will back down and say, okay, yes, you agreed, but the circumstances of the economy will suggest that you may not be able to meet its obligations, or the federal government will say, okay, yes, we agreed, we are in the wrong, but give us time. But an accommodation has to be met because there are millions of Nigerian students or thousands of Nigerian students that are roaming the streets, that are idle, and many of them are prey to all kinds of tendencies because these two parties have not been able to resolve this. In the longer term, we have to look at the whole funding arrangement of universities. It cannot be sustained that the federal government or any government pays about 90% or more of the subventions to run the universities. It's not sustainable, not anywhere in the world, particularly not in Nigeria.
So the Governors Forum cannot do anything. That's the summary of what you just said.
They can't because, number one, they don't own most of these universities, but they should be able to influence the federal government. Many of them belong to the same APC that the president is part of. They should be able to influence him, and they should be able to put pressure.
Does the president listen to anyone?
That the election is coming.
Does Buhari listen to anyone?
I'm sure he listens to one or two people, and I'm sure
maybe Malami.
but he has to listen. Because it is also tied to the electoral fortunes of the APC. How does APC go into a general election, knowing that the educational sector is comatose, knowing that the strike is going on? What will be their story? What story are they going to sell? So I think in the interest of his own political party, you understand, but more importantly, in the interest of Nigerians, the president has to find a way forward.
All right, we'll have to go on a short break right now, and when we come back, we'll be taking the reactions to the stories we shared so far. Stay with us.
Here is the list of excuses that will no longer be accepted.
Otajigbe, I beg, give me your hotspot. I want my data, but this one too much.
Please, could you put your Wi-Fi on? I'm out of data, and the recharge card seller has closed.
Oh, I would have recharged though, but I can't find my wallet.
Please, I've got cramps and I can't get up. Can you share your hotspots?
Oh no!
Don't know where my internet token is and I need to quickly buy data. Please, could you share your hotspot till I find it?
Hey, Jumbo, I for buy data, but that recharge card seller need to ever get change. How good you are?
Now there's really no excuse to ever be out of data with Glow Borrow Me Data. Dial *321# to borrow data now and pay later.
I beg, I will share your hotspot. This rain bahad. Make thunder no go fireman.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Happy birthday to
We need professional pictures of the birthday girl. Beautiful. Hey, smile for the camera. Hold on, I have an idea. Everyone, put on your phone torchlight. Here, take my Camon 19 Pro. It works great for portraits in low light.
Yo, these portraits are clear.
I told you, this is the Every Moment Portrait Master.
That's right. The new Tecno Camera 19 series, running on the latest Android OS with Google Apps, is your Every Moment Portrait Master. With its 64MP Bright Night triple portrait camera, the Camera 19 is designed to give you perfect natural tone portrait photos, whether in low light or daytime. Buy any of the Tecno Camera 19 smartphones to get an instant gift and enjoy up to 24 months device and 100 days broken screen warranty. Purchase your device with Easy Buy for a down payment as low as 30%. Hurry now! Visit the nearest authorized Tecno outlet to get yours today. Tecno, stop at nothing.
Power oil, power oil. Bunga cooking oil, we get different sizes and different packs. Oh, power oil, power oil. The one way they sweet me na mini pack, 400 naira. Yeah. Power oil, power oil. They everywhere. Power oil, good for your heart. Power oil, no cholesterol. Power oil, no trans fat. Power oil. And people who listen to your heart use power oil. Power oil, power oil. Power oil.
Ṣé bí gbogbo ìgbàlẹ̀ máa ń sọ pé Tolú ò fẹ́ràn ọ̀fà, Tolú ò fẹ́ràn ọ̀fà. Ẹ fi mí sílẹ̀ jàre. Tí oúnjẹ ọ̀fẹ́ bá yọ, máa rí yín níbẹ̀ o. Níbi nǹkan mímu ọ̀fẹ́, ẹ máa wà ń bẹ̀. Àgàgà tó bá jẹ́ owó ọ̀fẹ́, ẹ gbẹ̀yìn rì. Ẹ gbàgbé ìjọ, gbogbo wa ní nǹkan rere ń o. Kódà bí Jumia ṣe ń gbé ọjà lọlé lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Èmi àti yín náà la jọ ń gbádùn ẹ̀. Nígbà gbogbo tí ẹ bá rajà tó lé ní 1,999 naira nílùú Ìbàdàn àti Èkó, ẹ máa jẹ̀gbádùn àǹfààní gbígbé wá sílé fún yín lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Torí náà ẹ rajà lórí Jumia lónìí. Jumia, ọjà ojoojúmọ́ lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tó yín.
Oníbàárà mi, ẹ jẹ́ fún mi ní golden penny 400-gram midi pack. Spaghetti ni àwọn ọmọ mi fẹ́ jẹ ní alẹ́ yìí.
Mama Bisi, èwo tún ni 400-gram midi pack?
Èyí ni tuntun tí a gbé dé golden penny pasta 400-gram mini pack pẹ̀lú àmì ìdáyàtọ̀ kan náà. Golden penny pasta, jẹ̀gbádùn rẹ̀ lọ́nà tó ń wọ̀.
Waiting you sabi about the beautiful game. You dey there for the life and style, fantasy leagues, goals, ginger and okpo, breaking down the stats even to the MVPs, taking no L's and only for the W's. I beg, then Showmax Pro get news for you. Football season is back. Live, e-choke. Watch the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, anywhere on any screen. Mado. Stream the action from SuperSport live on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
We have the time 3 minutes past 7. It's 32 FM 94.9. We open the phone lines right now and we take some messages also from our Facebook page. Maybe we take that call. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Mr. Motaya Madamuro from Bodija. What the prophet today is very right. It's very narrow-minded to say our politicians shouldn't send their children to school. We're in a democracy. If you can afford it, what is stopping you from sending your children abroad? So there are other measures we could take, like curbing corruption. And this corruption, when we talk about corruption, lecturers themselves, they are responsible for part of it, because if they are creating the devices, the machines and everything, and people could go and be making them and producing them, we won't be talking about economic collapse. So the government is above, but there are systems beneath that are not working, that is making corruption to thrive. Because if I cannot make a business for myself, the next thing is to be corrupt. So there are many things that are involved, not just to say government is corrupt. You know, if our lecturers themselves, if they can make machines, make soap, other than the bread and the water they are making,
okay,
they will be able to create business for themselves and things will work.
Right.
It's not as if we are more corrupt than other countries, but that's the way things work in other countries.
Okay.
Everything is well in place and well motivated. So that's how things work.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
All right, on Facebook here we have a message. Babatunde Okejiran, ASU is ready to shift ground, provided federal government is ready to implement whatever agreement reached. ASU wants implementation with evidences seen before going back to classes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, I'm John Jackson. Professor, thank you. Yes, there was 2019 agreement between the ASU and the federal government. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in this mess now. And the man there asked, does the president listen to anyone? No is the answer, judging by the history of the president. Let me just tell you that one. However, I am sure that when 246 meet, yes, is bound to surrender. If either the federal government surrenders or the ASU will surrender, maybe sometime from justice money.
All right, thank you very much. 07055,949 08097,949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Kamala from Mayo.
All right, let's hear you.
I think I will agree in totality with Prof on the submission on the way of funding Nigeria University. That's the truth. We should not be so emotional or sympathize with the cause of ASU. We should think of a way, and ASU should also think of a way out. I recommend to government other ways to fund the university. That's the truth. If not, this ASU trial will continue. Don't like what you said. Let them call up tomorrow. Give them to next year April. By that we have new government now. They will say they want to negotiate with that government again. And say ASU say Nigeria should not be politicians. They have their children abroad. That is laughing. That means we don't have governor. Tell me whether we are trying to become governor that we don't have his child or children abroad. People are senator. So that's not the basis, and that's not a yardstick. That's the truth.
All right, Prof, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, could it be true that the federal government is insisting on not attending to all these things, all these demands from ASU because they know that ASU is Oliver Twist and they will always come back?
Well, ASU is not Oliver Twist because they have a subsistent agreement. And of course, those agreements have been renewed from that point of view. I think the fear of the federal government is that the cupboard is bare, according to them. But the problem with the federal government is that it's not a credible position. When you keep on doling out largesse to Afghanistan, Niger, and people keep on embezzling the money that you have. And for instance, the money that they said they gave to Niger, there's an accusation that in Niger that they haven't received the money. So those are the kind of things that makes ASU seem to be Oliver Twist from that point of view. So I think the federal government is just worried that they don't have enough funds to be able to sustain the demands of ASU.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning, Dele.
Morning, okay.
Morning, Kenya. Good morning, Prof. There's just something you just said now that actually touched me. They actually ran around to make sure the issue of the NUE strike was called off because it favored them, because it affected them. The reason probably why they don't seem to respond to this education issue is none of them, I will use this word, have their words there. That's actually why I believe, Prof, that's why Professor Shodeke made that statement. He has just forwarded a solution. I think all of us condemning him should also bring up our own solution. He brought out his. This is what he thinks might curb this. We should also bring out ours, not to say what he said is not right or foolish. He has tabled something because I even have to look at it that way too. Reasoning what he just said. If I don't vote somebody whose child is not here, I think he might favor me if his child is here. So probably that's why the prof said that. So I think we should bring up solutions on how to curb this. And please, this government, they see us as a conquered species. And that's why they don't care whether things works out for us. As long as we've been conquered, they are still on it. Good morning.
All right, thank you. Quickly, I take this message on Facebook. Suleiman Sharif, Nigeria, with a population of more than 200 million people, was currently generating less than 5,000 megawatts, which was grossly inadequate to meet the energy needs of the nation. South Africa has a population of 67 million people and is generating 46,000 megawatts, which is more than enough for the country. Ex-governor Fashola of APC ruling party said within 6 months in government, Nigeria will enjoy stable electricity for 24 hours. Thank you, sir. You are a promise keeper. Prof, what's your response to that?
Well, is this true? I think he's laid the facts bare. The situation is that we don't generate enough and we don't distribute enough. We have to look at the whole power sector. But, it's historic. The problem with power is that we didn't invest over a long period of time. And when we were prepared to invest, we wasted the money, about 16 billion, if you remember, of that fund. So we have a long way to go with power. But if we don't sort out power, then we are in trouble in terms of the industrialization of Nigeria. So it's correct.
Raji Afiz Abiola Raja says about the call of that professor who says the people should not vote for the politicians that have children in outside Nigeria. Honestly, the call is laughable and not achievable. It can't see the light of day. Hello.
Good morning. Mr. Mataya Matamore again.
Morning.
Concerning power generation in Nigeria, we send our students to this school. This is what I'm saying about housing. Why should we be calling foreigners to come and help us generate power? We should be able to generate power by ourselves. Because we go to school and we learn all these things. In 1918 or 1917, the Russians, the Soviets, when the Americans left the country, all the engineers, they electrified the country for an Israel war. They did everything. So why should we come? We say we go to university. This is what I'm saying about housing. We have lecturers, we have all these people.
All right.
So why are we not producing all this? Why are we not doing this thing by ourselves? Why should we be calling foreigners? Because we don't have NEPA, we don't have generator. We can't even produce a generator.
All right.
And then we say we keep on blaming the government.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Doctor, good morning. John, calling from Ibadan.
Morning.
Yes, telling us that Nigeria doesn't have money is a lie. Every day they say crude oil. I want to ask, what they are making in a day, are they spending it that same day? Are they finishing it that same day? It's just because our leaders are not serious for anything. Tell me any sector that is working. They are not serious for anything. They are only interested in money. That is the reason why we are here. So 2023 is around the corner. Let us vote those that are serious-minded leaders. What we have now, they are nothing.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yes, I'm Michelle on the line. So about what the Minister for Power Sector said yesterday, he said that there's a shortage of gas. And I don't know our problem in this country. Because our leaders, they're supposed to be proactive and think deeply outside the circle to do the needful. Do you know that only 20 power plants in Nigeria were currently operational, while 25 out of that power plant were powered by gas, while 3 were hydropower stations. So we can't get it like this until we change the way we are doing it and we can get a positive result. Without it, just roaming within a circle. Thank you.
All right, Bakis are not here due to the gas scarcity which exists despite our abundant crude oil. The federal government is unable to meet its earlier proposed power generating goal of 5,000 megawatts. Gas could be used to generate electricity in this nation, but corruption won't allow it. Prof, but just before we let you go, does it mean that Nigeria has been bereft of creative leaders or creative leadership since maybe 20, 25 or 30 years?
Well, the only creative leadership that we had was during the Obasanjo era. And even Obasanjo, made some mistakes. He only decided to grapple with the power situation when it was good night, when he was about to go. See the gas situation. We've been flaring gas for years and years. And people are saying, instead of flaring this gas, capture this gas and use it, you understand, export it and use it for your own benefit. And the problem with it again is that the equipment, we Nigerians, common people, are the ones vandalizing this equipment. So equipments are being vandalized. And so that's part of the issue. We can't generate enough gas. So creative leadership, I don't know. Maybe we'll get it into 2023, but we haven't had it for some time.
Thank you so much, Prof, for being part of the program today. We'll talk to you some other time.
Thank you.
Enjoy your UK stay. We have a report here that inflation has reached 40% high or something in the UK. Is it true? I don't know if I get that.
No, 10%. 10%. It's still under 10%.
10%, okay. 10%.
Yes.
You can still enjoy your burger and your everything.
Well, we will try to. All
right, thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
All right, that's what we call it wrap on the Break of Dawn paper review for today, the 18th of August 2022. My name is Kenny DUROTILU. Good morning.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Enjoy your day.
The views and opinions